Hi guys, welcome. I'm Sandy and here's another video for all my fellow beginner watercolor artists out there. As a beginner watercolor artist myself, I know how frustrating it can be to practice every day, to work hard at improving my watercolor skills and have nothing to show for. I mean, sure, some days some flowers will look cute and I'll make the perfect leaves here and there, but what about an actual painting? You know, something I can offer as a card to a loved one, or that I can frame and hang in my room and look at it every time I practice to keep myself motivated. I know what it feels like to watch YouTube videos of wonderful artists that are teaching us how to do something beginner level that is just so hard to do. And we're thinking, you know, if that's beginner level and I can't do it, what does that make me? Okay, this video is not that, okay? This video is me as a beginner watercolor artist, a real newbie, showing other people like me how we can paint something awesome, that we will be really proud of, that we can show to other people, you know, hang on walls, post on social media, you know, whatever you want to do with it. So, if you're a beginner level watercolor artist and want to paint something awesome, regardless of how far along you are, this one is for you. Let's do it. And this is what we will be using. My lovely Kuretake Gansai Tambi Art Nouveau set. Getting more and more obsessed with it. You know, it's my greatest ally, to be honest. And I think it's down to the beauty of these colors. I mean, if you're working with lovely, cute colors, you're ahead of the game, right? And these are cute. They are beautiful, muted pastel watercolor paints that are a joy to work with. Still sold out in most places, I know, but I am keeping watch, so hang in there, okay? Because these are well worth it. And today we will be using my Bao Hong Master's Choice paper because I feel fancy. This paper is really toothy, okay? Really textured. So I know I am making life harder for me as far as drawing goes, but I love it and it's really great priced and I just want to spoil myself today. And that's what today's video is all about, feeling worthy and motivated, okay? And if you want to know more about this paper, I've reviewed it a few weeks back, as well as the watercolor set. So I'll just leave the links in the description for you to check them out after this video, okay? Let's get started. Now, the two things we need to make this painting a success is to plan ahead and to be aware of our own limitations, which means we draw our line art before painting. No free-flow painting for us here, okay? And we keep it nice and simple. Keeping that in mind, we are making another flower arrangement, but this time we are adding sunflowers. So sunflowers and daisies, how perfect is that? Now the shapes are very similar, except that sunflowers are bigger and the petals are pointier, you know, instead of round. When you're drawing line art for watercolor, you will want to use a really thin or soft line pencil or mechanical pencil, but for this one, it doesn't really matter because we will be using our pen to outline our flowers before we're done, okay? I love mixed media. Adding doodles to my paintings always give it that extra oomph. And when we're starting out, we need all the oomph we can get, right? Today I'm going to try and make an oval vase. Still don't know how to say it. And this is why I don't usually do oval. It is just so much harder. But yeah, something like this. That goes a bit straighter. This is our water line. This is our glitter. And let's get started. So, big. So first thing, big sunflower right here. And I find this easier to turn around, but I have a watercolor block. If you don't have one, you probably have your paper taped to your desk, which won't make this as easy to make as I am doing it. And there we have it. We could add a second layer of sunflower. Perfect. Okay. So now let's just keep going with our line art. This is a very tiny sheet of paper, I am well aware of that, but as I've explained to you before, I think that, you know, when you're starting out, having big sheets of paper can be really intimidating, and this way, you know, they're really easy to fill. So yeah, being lazy here. Well, it's not lazy, you know, I'm being kind to myself. Okay, our line art is done, at least for the time being, and this is very promising, you guys. I'm already excited. So far, no biggie, right? It was easy enough to do. Now we add our lovely pastel colors. We will be using a lot of them because I want flowers in all colors, not just white and yellow, but pinks and purples too. Today I will not be mixing any colors. I am still using those 3 we mixed for the last video, and if you haven't checked that one out, please do. I think you will love it. So any other mixing aside from these 3 colors we made the other day will be made on the page. You know, I'll be doing some layering of the petals, nothing too fancy or hard. You'll see what I mean in a bit. So let me get my round brush. You know how much I love my round brush. This is a tiny one. I think I need tiny for these flowers. I could go even tinier, but to be honest, I lack the patience. So let's just get started and see how we do, and we will start with our beautiful sunflower. Now these watercolors are not subtle, okay? If subtlety is what you want, Kuretake Gansai Tambi paints are not the paints for you. They are in your face. They are vibrant. They don't get, you know, much muted once they dry, contrary to most watercolors. What you see is what you get with these ones. They are beautiful, vibrant, and very much in your face. Now remember, I didn't say this before we started, but I will say it now. You always go light to dark, okay? Don't try and go darker first and then lighten it up. That does not work for watercolors, so don't do that. You will regret it. Always start with the lighter color and then go as dark as you want. Look at that, guys. How easy was that? Just taking advantage of the water. And there's our beautiful, beautiful sunflower. Once this is dry, we'll come back for the middle of, for the button. But you know, we'll do all the buttons after we're done. Okay, now to paint the rest of the flowers, we're going to use most of these colors, these three beautiful colors here as well. One thing to keep in mind is if you don't want them to bleed, don't paint flowers close to the ones that are still wet. Now, as you can see, these are the colors, the three colors we mixed in the previous video. So this one is vermilion and pale pink. This one is saffron yellow and green gold. And this one is green pea and shadow green. So yes, you can mix Kuretake Gansai Tambi paints as long as you know which ones you can mix. And the only way you'll find that out is by either watching videos of other people doing it, like I did, or trying it. You know, give it a try, do it yourself, see how it goes. If you like it, it was a success. If you don't like it, it was a success because now you know what not to do. It's not as opaque. Actually, you know what? These colors really surprise me is they're very much less opaque than I expected. You can totally see the line in all of them, really. You can definitely see some are more opaque than others, like this one is more opaque, this one maybe. But still, perfect, clear black line. This one is opaque too. Perfect, clear black line for beautiful, beautiful pastel colors. I'm very happy. I keep saying that. You know, I say that to everybody who will listen. I'm very happy with these colors. Okay guys, now we want to go back and do a little extra something. Definitely come back to this. Want to mix this in the page just like we said, and then with our pen we will give that black seeded look, you know, those seeds in the middle of the, those little seeds in the middle of the sunflower. Okay guys, our cute flowers are done. Time to move on to our greenery. You know, if the paint is dry enough, which I think it is. If not, wait a bit or use a heat gun or a hairdryer to give it some extra help. This is a Princeton super thin brush. Yes, you can use a round brush to make thin lines if you keep it like vertical, but I am too heavy-handed. You've watched me paint, so I really need this one to keep me in check. You know, I remember leaves were actually the first thing I learned how to do. It was pretty much, I bet it was pretty much the same with you guys too. And I still love making them. I feel so proud of myself every time I make a proper leaf. It's like, ooh, look at that. I'm an expert. Okay guys, you know what comes next? Those tiny little buttons. Those tiny little color buttons that we're just going to spread all around our white bits. These are supposed to be, you know, those buttons you see behind the main flowers. Because, you know, when you're looking at a bouquet, there's some flowers in the front, you know, staring right at you. There are some flowers in the back, right? This isn't flat. It's 3D, it's not meant to be flat. Yeah, I think that's all we need. Okay guys, now last part is working on our vase, our glass vase vase. There are a lot of glass vase colors, you know, some are bluish, others are green, so you take your pick, okay? I've done gray too. Then since we did billiard green for our previous video, today I'm going to do shadow green. So, you know, it's more of a grayish tone. I like it. So we want to create shading on this side. So we just add more paint to this side and much less paint to the other side. Let me show you. this little shadow over here is actually really important because it marks the surface where your vase is. It can't really be levitating in nothingness. Well, it could, but this is way cooler. Is that really so hard? It wasn't, was it? Isn't this just the easiest thing? I knew you'd agree. Be right back. Okay guys, I almost forgot about one of the trickiest parts for me, which is the stems. You saw how it didn't really work in the last video, so I'm going to give it another try. And for me, this definitely is one of the trickiest bits because it can ruin your overall look, okay? So we want the stems to meet at water level, and we want it to spread on top and the bottom without going all the way down. I have been practicing. Let's see how this goes today. So we don't want it to go over this little curve, and we want it to meet here. Like that. Okay. Don't want to overdo it. This doesn't work today. I am done doing stems. Okay, I'll just make a really opaque face and be done with it. Because, you know, if this doesn't work, okay, it's not perfect. It's definitely better than the last one. Okay, let's not get carried away. I will take it. Now comes the doodling, which is, as I have said many times, my favorite part. Nothing is off limits when you doodle. You don't need to follow the lines. You can make a line 2, 3, 4 times, whatever feels right to you. I'm just going to relax my wrist and see where it takes me. You know, we did this, our hands did this, our hands painted this, and it is done. Oh guys, this is so cool. I love it. Do you love it? This was so much fun to make, and so easy too. What do you say? Is it something you'd be proud to hang on the wall and smile at every time I walk past it? I know I would for sure. Guys, I had a blast. Thank you for doing this with me. I hope you give it a try. It is so much fun. I will see you very soon. Bye bye.